Hiya, I'm Simone Radley from England Nails, and in this video we're going to be doing something Halloweeny. So it's getting to that time of year, so I thought we'd do something, Halloweeny, bit spooky. Why not? So I've got tips lined up. These are the almond fit tips, and I've already painted them with 2 coats of I-161. This is Asgard, and you've got to use it super duper thin because it is so highly pigmented. If you don't use it super thin, you'll get some wrinkling when it cures in the lamp, so make sure it's thin. So I'm going to use I-156, which is Retort White, and this is from a makeup sponge. So it's just literally a bit of makeup sponge that I've ripped off, basically. I'm going to use that on my tweezers. So on my silicone pad, I'm going to put a little bit of white, and a little bit of this goes a long way as well, to be fair, because again it's really pigmented, so it does go a long way. You don't need to use a lot. I'll get rid of that. So let me move this in so you can see. I'm just going to get my sponge with my tweezers. She says, these tweezers are so pokey. They're so pointy and pokey. And dab in it a little bit and then dab the excess off. And I want the top to be pretty white and then sort of fading out a bit as it comes further down. And we're going to do a skull on here. And you can obviously cure a layer and then add a bit more. So I'm kind of going to do an ish skull sort of shape. Then I'm going to whack that into cure. While that's curing, I'm going to do mid one. So same sort of thing, I'm going to sponge the white on, starting from the top because that's where I want it to be whitest. Around the top, this one's going to have a tree on it, like a spooky tree. Like, I feel like it's a tree that you find in a graveyard. And I'm going to whack that into cure. And now I'm back to my first one, there's going to be the skull, and I'm just going to add a bit more white. Mainly around the top, which will be the cuticle area, just to, intensify it, make it a bit whiter, really. So this, I think, is really quite easy sort of Halloweeny nail art. It doesn't look easy, but it is quite, like, when you see the design finished, but it is quite easy, I think. Quite like that. I'm just going to add a little bit more white around the top. It's kind of like in the moonlight, I reckon. That's what I think. Cure that. So they are cured. And I have decanted some I-161 onto my silicone pad because now we're going to use that to paint our design. I'm going to use the Artiste brush. What shall we do? Maybe we'll do the skull, because it is a bit more difficult, so we'll do the skull. So I'm going to move this pad out of the way so you can see properly what's going on. And I'm going to start off with the eye sockets. Which are quite big in the skull. I'm just kind of putting them-ish where I want them to be, and then I'm going to make them bigger. And with skulls and this sort of nail art, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, which is blooming great. Now I'm going to put the nose hole in. There's no way to say it really, is there, on a skull? It's a nose hole. It is though, isn't it? The nose hole. It looks like something off Funny Bones. Remember that story? I used to love that when I was a kid. I'm going to make these eye sockets a bit bigger now. Sometimes when you get some other bits on, then you can get a better idea of what, what's going on in your change bits. Now I'm going to come in the side and put a little mark, sort of where the top jawbone is, on this side. Again, it's not dead perfect. I'm going to put some jaggedy lines in for cracks, because we've got a bit of an old cracked skull. Now I'm going to make kind of like just a wiggly wavy line, which is kind of where the teeth would go. I'm going to make it a bit more black, make it thicker, so it looks like a gap basically. Then I'm going to use my white, my 156, to put some kind of teeth underneath this black wiggly line. On the edge here, I'm going to go over some of that dabbed white with the black, because it's a bit too wide on the side, so I'm just going to cover it up with the black. And I'm going to bring the black down just sort of in between the teeth a bit more, really thinly. Now I'm going to whack that into cure. So now with my white, I'm going to add in some more details, kind of I suppose like paint dripping, I guess, down from the teeth at the bottom. I'm just going to go back with my black and just come and go around the teeth a little bit more underneath to make it a bit more black instead of the strip of white. Ooh, it's looking spooky. I'm going to make these eye sockets bigger. It's quite a big skull. I'm going to make the nose socket a bit bigger as well. Nose hole. And a bit more uneven, I reckon. Well, that's better. So I'm going to put that into cure. And while that's curing, I'm going to do my tree. So, tree, dead easy. I'm going to use the black again. I'm going to come right down here for the main tree trunk. And it's going to be obviously like a spindly, spooky, wintry tree with no leaves on it. So it's just sticks basically. So I'm just dragging out from that main part of the trunk, yeah, to make a spindly tree. And then you can drag out from those branches and make other little ones. I like to continue from a branch I've already done and drag it out. That way I think it looks like it flows more and it looks more like a tree. Spooky tree lit up by the moon. I'm going to put that into cure. Now that this skull's cured, I've looked at it and I just want to add a bit of black down the edge just to bring it in slightly at these top sides. Now they're cured, I'm going to get some green cleaner and just lightly wipe over them, which basically will wipe the inhibition layer away because I'm going to make these matte. So if I didn't do that, when I put the matte top coat on, it just like drags it all over your design. Oh, I've wiped the white off. Oh no. Well, no, to be fair, I quite like it. I didn't think that would happen, but I actually quite like it. I'm deciding whether I like it or not. I really didn't think that would happen. So obviously, when your white is stippled on like that, it would be best to go over with the shiny top coat first and then the matte, because you don't want to rub your design off like I just have. But I actually quite like it, so I'm going to leave it. because it's not wiped all of it off and it looks quite good, actually. Unexpectedly, it looks quite good. So I'm going to leave that, but yes, now we know, because I've not done that before. So now we know, if you don't want to wipe any off, shine your top coat and then your mat over the top, and it will stop it from smudging and wiping away. But I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with it and go on with the velvet mat. I feel like it's kind of added to the effect in a weird way. And then I'm doing this as a set. So I've got my other nails as well. And I'm going to use the white foil, which is Clio. I love this stuff. It's so effective and so easy. And I feel like this is great for like Halloween-y kind of designs. I'm going to chop some of that off. Literally dab it on and pull it off. I don't want loads, I just want it here and there. So these ones I want to be shiny because I quite like a shiny matte combo. I think it is good. So I'm going to use the Ultimate No Wipe top coat because I love it. So I'm going to whack that into Cure and I'll top coat the others. And there we go, done. So yeah. Our pretty, easy, spooky Halloween set of nails. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and what's the other one, Joanna?
Ring the notification bell.
Ring the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.